Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So on today's video, as you saw in the thumbnail and in the title, we're going to be talking about our updated early retirement plan. So I mentioned in this video up here, that's our main net worth update, that we planned on retiring in 9 years. However, we've been getting several private messages and DMs and just comments saying, that you guys may be able to hit your FI number much sooner than you think and maybe rerunning your numbers. And this is what I really love about this community, is that there are so many people that are invested in your journey, and I'm invested in a lot of people's journeys as well, wanting to see people hit their goals and just smash their goals and be great in this whole financial journey. And being able to get that feedback and just going back and running the numbers again. And thank you guys so much, because we were able to shave off 3 years. So we are going to be able to hit our FIRE number and say bye-bye to the workforce in 6 years. Yes, 6 years we will be able to be done. So we are really happy with that, and I'm going to take you right into the spreadsheet and all the details and explain how we are going to be able to hit our early retirement number in 6 years instead of 9. And we're going to try to push ourselves and see if we can do this in 5 years. So let's get into the details. So in this first box over here, we have our current investments. I took these numbers from our May net worth update video, which I will link up here in the eye in the sky. But yeah, we have our 401k, the SEEP, the Roth, the Robinhood, IB, Interactive Brokers, my husband's company stock. Now, I only included in the past up to $50,000 worth of his stock, because he does have 150,000 shares in his company. Just FYI, my husband works in the biopharma tech sector. They deal a lot with clinical trials in terms of drugs. My husband's company worked very closely with Pfizer in the vaccine. So again, the industry is really hot right now, and just the pharma industry has always been hot. And so yes, he started with this company and they gave him stock as a part of his compensation package. So I did add all of the stock back into the net worth, because there were people saying, we know that you wanted to have some set aside to pay off your main home, but you'll still have some money left over, and you should add all your stock options to your net worth, because that is yours, that's your husband's. And that is so true. He can cash out right now with what he has fully vested, and he'll be hit with a tax bill, but he still will be able to walk away with a nice chunk of money. Now, we're not doing that. We're going to wait till all of his stock is fully vested. And speaking of that, let me take you over to the spreadsheet that I made. So this is my husband's current stock. So he has 150,000 shares total in his company. Now, this is how it works. He has a vesting schedule. So from 2019 to 2023, he gets a certain amount of his stock fully vested. That's 100% his every year, or 2023. But yeah, so this is what he has currently. So this 280,340 is currently populated over here as well. So we have our HSA, cash on hand, crypto, Weevil, and property. So our actual total net worth with our stock options added is $896,867.09. So as we go down some more, I have a FIRE parameter section here. So the age, so this is all populated. So that's why I love spreadsheets so much, is that I spent several hours this weekend working on this thing. So once I put the numbers in, it just auto populates for me. So it's saying that we can reach our FIRE number in 42 years. 42 years, oh my goodness gracious, at 42 years of age. And if we withdraw 4%, and if you want to know more about the 4% rule, I'll link an article down in the description box below, and I'll link a video where I talked about the 4% rule. But a lot of FIRE people who are trying to achieve this swear by the 4% rule, and we are big believers in that as well. If we decide to stop working now, and my husband say, you know what, that's it, we should be able to live off about $35,000, $36,000 per year, which would give us a little under $3,000 per month. This is also taken into account 3% inflation. Inflation is going up. You guys have probably noticed it in your bills and food, gas, different things like that. So we have to account for inflation. That's 3%. The age now, which is 36. The FIRE number. So again, I had talked about wanting a $3 million FIRE number, both my husband and myself. But the calculations came back saying you really only need about $2.7 $2.8 million. And you're about, as you can see down here, 6 years to FI. And I'm going to explain these numbers in more detail, so just bear with me. So currently our expenses are about $90,000 a year. Now, granted, when I do our budgets, it looks a little more than that. That's because we do tithe up our gross income, but once we hit our FI number and retire, we won't be really tithing much anymore because we're going to be living off of what we invested. Unless we have my husband's business, he's going to be working on that on the side, and we'll tithe off of that. But for the most part, the big chunks we have been giving, we won't be giving much anymore. And so that $90,000 a year in our early retirement equals out to about $7,500 a month. That's about $246 per day with a savings rate. And this is our current savings rate, is about 46%, which is really, really good, especially with a family of 5. We can't do 70%, you guys. We got bills, we got things going on over here. So as you can see, our investments over time at a return rate of about 8.5% with a yearly investment goal of $75,000. That's really attainable for us. Remember, guys, my husband gets bonuses. He gets big chunks, and a lot of times they get fronted at the beginning of the year. So he does get a 401k match, and he contributes to his 401k as well on top of that. So just keep, all of that in mind. But if we invest $75,000 per year, that's all taken into account while we're able to hit this number much sooner. I can tell you guys that we've already invested about $90-ish thousand so far in this June, again, because of the bonuses that my husband got at the beginning of the year. And also I'm counting the interest or the payments that we make to our homes. I have interest here. I need to put principal versus, there we go, paid on home. About $1,000. This is across all of our properties. So we have 3 properties currently. We have no PMI on any of our properties. Our main home and the 2 rentals, no PMI on those homes. So we pay about $1,000 towards the principals across all of those each month. We are not trying to pay off our, mortgages fast because we feel like we can get a better return just investing that money instead. And it's been proving to be really, really helpful to do it that way. Let's come down to our projected net worth with options. So this is saying if we continue on the path that we're on at 37 years old, sometime when we're 37, we should hit our $1 million number net worth, which is great. And as you can see, I'll start tracking this when we turn 37. That's in September. So I'll start tracking this then. Of course, I'll do videos, and I'll copy this graph over into our net worth spreadsheet so that we can kind of follow along each month as well. So this is really, really interesting to see all these numbers here populated with the calculations, and because it allows us to see, if we decided to maybe keep working until 45, we could have $3 million. If we decide to work until 50, we could have $4.8 million. If we decide to just say, you know what, let's keep going until 56 years old, we can have $8.5 million. But the plan is just to stick to what we talked about and retire, in the 6 years. But it's just, again, that's why I love spreadsheets, because I can see all this information. Down here is our FIRE income sources. I talk about this often. I created this because I think it's important to know in what order do you plan on withdrawing your funds when you do reach your early FIRE number, right? Because you can't go to your 401k or Social Security if there's any left. And so we have to make sure that we know how we're going to take this money to live off of. So we have our first threshold, which you can see right here: rental income, side business, dividends, interest. Second threshold is stocks and the Roth and the crypto withdrawals. And then the third threshold is, and it's supposed to be HSA. You can see right there, HSA withdrawals. I have to fix that box. Savings, the SEEP, IRA, and then the 401k. Notice I do not have Social Security here because who knows if there's going to be any by the time we get older. And at the end of the day, we just don't want to have to rely on that. If we get it, that's great. We're going to be super thankful. But at the end of the day, we're trying to make sure that we do the best that we can for ourselves and for, our family. So let's scroll up. So we have our FIRE goals box. You guys have seen this in other spreadsheets. So we currently have 2 homes. The goal is to have 5 doors. 5 doors, guys. That's the goal. The goal is also to have 2 years worth of cash. That's about $180,000. And so we currently have 6 months of emergency funds. So we're just going to continue to build on that. We want to make sure that our main home is paid off. We don't want to go into early retirement with a mortgage on our main home. We want to put $25,000 in my son's trust by the time we reach our FIRE number, and I think this is really, really possible, so we're going to continue to do that. And besides, he won't need the money from his trust, and it'll continue to grow until, we're gone, we're dead and gone, or we can't, really support him the way that we can anymore because of age or medical issues. That's when he'll receive the money. So he's 10. So he has like a good 40, 50 years to go for this money. We want to have $50,000 that we invested in cryptocurrency, not counting any gains, and then invest $30,000 via the Roths. Now, we started investing late at 30 years old, and so we're just trying to do the best we can with making up for lost time and just making good decisions. As you can see up over here, our net worth progress box. So every time we hit a threshold, it populates the progress towards Fat Fire. So we are about 25-ish% of the way to our FIRE number, which is awesome. And of course, the more that we hit our thresholds, it'll just populate into here, which is so awesome. Let me move my face over. Okay. And this is our budget, which was really eye-opening, guys, when I did this for early retirement, really thinking about it, looking at videos of people who are currently retired, reading articles about how, expenses are going to look. And so we thought we did a really good job trying to project how much our expenses will look like, in early retirement. And look at this, the total is still $6,600. Remember, we're budgeting $7,500 a month to live off of in early retirement. So we still have some space to go. And I'm going to do a separate video talking all about the early retirement budget and how you guys can kind of figure, this out. So stay tuned for that. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick video. Leave me a comment down below. Thank you guys so much.